Hi, this is Dave Michael with the Faces of Pickens podcast and brought to you by the Greater Pickens Chamber of Commerce. And today we have Branden. Branden, what company are you with?
I'm with Castle & Hendricks CPAs right here in Pickens.
Okay, cool. How long have you been there?
I've been there since 2008, so I guess that puts me up quite a, 12 years or so.
I say quick math is like
I'm an accountant, I can't do math.
I can't do the math.
The years just fly by. Yeah, so I started there in June of 2008, so I've been there ever since.
Cool. Did you come from another, did you call them firms? Is that right?
We do call them firms, but no, I did not come from another firm. I came from, moved up here originally from South Florida.
Okay.
My wife and I did, and we have 2 kids.
We're in South Florida.
Just north of Palm Beach on the East Coast. So we moved up in 2007, right at the end of 2007, and prior to working at Castle & Hendricks, I actually worked at auto repair shops, managing auto repair shops. That's correct.
Huh.
So I did that for quite a few years also while going through school. So
When did you graduate from school?
I finished up the master's in 2007.
Wow. Yeah. So you have a master's in, what is it?
In accounting.
Accounting? Okay.
Yeah, master's in accounting. So that's finished up in 2007, then came up here and went right into accounting or pretty soon after moving here.
What brought you up to Pickens?
My wife's side of the family is up here.
Okay.
So they're from this area, and we would get to come up and visit them, and just really fell in love with the place. The seasons, obviously, South Florida, there's no seasons at all. You feel like reach out and you can walk and touch your neighbor's house and your house at the same time, depending on the neighborhood. But anyway, so we like the space. I like the woods, like the seasons. Her family was up here, and we eventually were able to purchase some property from her grandfather, and then eventually were able to build on it. So we're not in Pickens, we're actually in Easley, but just right outside Pickens on the northwest side.
Cool. Very
So we love it up here.
Yeah, I would say that's quite a contrast though from Palm Beach. You get down there much anymore?
Well, I still have family down there, and so does my wife. So we get down there usually once a year, every other year or so. But it is definitely different, and we appreciate being up here every time we go down.
Get back to
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're here to stay, is what it seems. So.
Yeah. Since you've been here for 12, 17 years, whatever it is at this point.
That's correct. Yeah. It seems like we're here long term.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. As far as hobbies, what do you do for fun?
Well, work takes up a lot of time, obviously, but when I'm not working, I do like to read a lot. I like pretty much anything outside. Would like to work in the yard, hike, travel around, that sort of thing. But I just like being outside as much as I can.
It's a great place for it, obviously.
It is. Yeah, our house is right in the middle of the woods, and can't see our neighbors, and lots of opportunity to do things out in the woods. So
get up to Table Rock, do some hiking and stuff like that.
Yes, done that. So it's good. We like it.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about the accounting firm. As far as, when was it started?
It was started in 1983 by Linda Castle, who's married to Millage Castle. They were Millages from this area, and she's a transplant as well from Midwest, I believe. But she started the firm in 1983, and she worked there as an owner, CPA, until 2018 is when she retired, I think.
Okay.
And so right now it's just Dawn and myself. We're the 2 partners currently at the firm. We have other employees, CBA as well, but the 2 of us are the partners there. Okay.
Very cool. And as far as because I'm guessing that they, like, different firms do different things. I mean, do you guys specialize in anything in particular? Or?
Yeah, different firms do different things or do a lot of things, I guess you could say. We tend to lean towards the tax side, I guess.
Okay.
So a lot of the work we do is related to tax returns, tax compliance, that sort of thing. We do bookkeeping, payrolls, financial statements.
Personal, business?
Personal and business, that's correct. So really do a broad range of things as far as that CPAs do. We don't do audits. Tend to get asked a lot to do those, and we just don't have the manpower to do audits, and so it's not something we branched out into. But for the most part, we're working with small businesses throughout the year, doing the bookkeeping and payrolls, helping them with their financial statements, hopefully helping them understand and do some tax planning as well. And then also do a lot of individual clients, around tax season and tax planning for them as well.
And so your busy times of the year are.
Yeah, it seems like it's busy all the time anymore, but the busiest times are, of course, January 1st. We hit the ground running January 1st because the business tax return is being due March the 15th. And then that goes all the way through April the 15th for sure. And then at that point, we're still not working quite as long hours, but still busy all the way through May 15th, which is the deadline for nonprofits.
Gotcha.
And at that point, it starts to smooth out, and then we pick back up right about now, working on businesses and individuals who had to or that we extended.
So you get to sleep a little bit somewhere after May?
That's correct. Yeah, there's very little sleep January through April, it seems like. But anyway, it's just one of those things you get used to. I think all jobs probably have times where they're just very busy.
Right.
So we can't complain a whole lot. It's just very good to be busy.
Yeah, very good. And as far as, so I mean, being at Pickens, do you specialize in people in Pickens? Is that mainly who you have, or is there people from all over the place? Or?
We do have a lot of clients here from Pickens, either people that were born and raised here or transplants. There's a lot of transplants now. So, but we do a lot of clients outside of Pickens as well. So Greenville, the upstate, across South Carolina, and then across the country as well. We have clients all the way from Washington State to here. So
wow.
So we do them all over. So it's a broad variety, but the majority of what we do is South Carolina work.
Gotcha. And we were talking before we started all this, we're talking about your continuing education. I had no idea about this. How much continuing education you have to do every year?
Right. So CPAs, they're required to do 40 hours every year. Wow. So you can pick from a wide variety of things. So you tend to pick things that are beneficial to you as a CPA or in the work that you're doing. So we tend to take our CPA continuing ed classes in tax planning, bookkeeping, not bookkeeping, but financial statement analysis, and then of course tax code changes, which they change every year. So there's always a lot of stuff to keep up with.
Huh.
So the education does help with that. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but it is quite a bit, and you just have to make sure you don't miss it.
Yeah, I was going to say, but like you said, with all the tax code and stuff like that changing every year,
that's correct. There's plenty of subjects and topics, and it's not, there's always something to learn.
What's as far as with Castle and Castle?
Castle and Hendricks.
Castle and Hendricks. Sorry, Castle and Castle something else. But anyway, do you guys specialize in anything in particular? Like, is there something that you guys are really well known for?
Well, I don't know the right answer to that. I mean, we try to do a broad range of things. I think the one thing we pride ourselves in is good customer service. You know, I think it's one of the largest complaints we hear from clients that come from other locations is their accounts don't respond or
something like that.
It takes forever to hear back, or so we do our best to stay on top of things like that. So I think that's maybe a point that sets us apart from others, possibly.
Because you guys are a little bit, how many people are there?
It varies depending on the time of year, but 10 to 14, somewhere in that area.
So not a huge firm, big enough. So it's a nice middle of that Goldilocks kind of area where you're not super small, but you're small enough to be personal with people.
That's correct. We feel like we are personal with people, get to know our clients.
Right.
And many of them have been with us for years, and we appreciate that and love seeing them, talking to them as much as we can. But as far as, specialization, we do a lot of tax returns. So, we've got a lot of business.
Bread and butter kind of thing.
That's correct. I mean, a lot of things are geared toward that. So I think tax returns, tax planning is what I would say we specialize in.
Huh. Is there something that you guys do that that people may have no idea that you guys even offer as far as a service?
Probably payroll is probably the least known because there's a lot of companies that do payroll and various stages, I guess you would call it, but we do full service payrolls. Believe we do a really good job with it, and take good care of the customers who need it. So
with payroll, let's say that like say businesses wants to bring you on for payroll. Is there? I'm just going to ask, why would they choose you over someone else? Is it that's their personal service, or is it?
I think it's a personal service in the fact that. You can pick up the phone and actually talk to someone who's going to know or be able to answer your question, be able to look into it, be able to fix it,
Right.
You've got an error in your payroll. It's something that we'll take care of.
You're not going to be on the phone for an hour trying to get.
That's
someone,
correct. You're going to get someone here in Pickens.
Yeah.
Someone's local is going to
They can
take
come
care
knock
of it.
on your door. Worst case.
That is correct. So we feel like we do a very good job with that, and a lot of payroll companies, you send them the information, and at that point you kind of don't know what's going on. You don't know how to fix problems. It's not reconciled to forms, and you might get a notice and you don't know why.
Yeah.
So a lot of that takes a lot of that off the business owners and puts it onto us where we're good at it.
Yeah, and then that's great as far as also if they're doing tax returns, you can just roll all that stuff together and it just makes
That's correct.
work
It ties together, obviously, and it's nice to know where payroll is, and in particular for owners. If you're doing owner's payroll, you can structure a lot of that to help with the tax impacts that are generating from their business or the payroll, their personal payroll, that sort of thing. So it is nice to have the full picture.
Yeah.
Obviously it's not
Just trying to get
required,
little
but
pieces from here and there or something
that's
like that.
correct. It's nice to be able to, when you're going into the planning side of taxes, it's nice to have the full picture, and the payroll is a big part of that.
Do you get into any other stuff as far as like I guess like tax planning for like real estate or for people passing away, like that kind of tax?
Right. So
advice or
estate
not?
tax.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. So a lot of your state tax, let's call it estate tax planning. Sometimes, depending on circumstances, you may want an estate turning.
Okay.
Because you may have to have trusts done up.
Yeah.
Have to have your wills redone, things like that. But there's always.
And do you guys have people that you can refer to for that?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. If there's any, we work with quite a few attorneys and can refer to them for sure. But there's always a tax side which we are able to consult on.
Yeah.
It's just when you get into some of those legal documents, obviously we're not attorneys, we're not going to be able to do those, but we can tell you about the tax implications related to those trust or estate plans.
Cool.
And hopefully help you make the right decisions for when you pass.
Very cool. Well, that's cool. Ways to contact you. How do people do it?
So the best way is to give us a call. Phone numbers on our website. Also,
Which is Castle and Hendricks.
is chcpa.net.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's phone numbers there. You can also email us. There's links to emails there as well, and we're pretty good about getting back with you. But always, phone numbers usually the best way to get something, get the response quickest.
And you're right here in Pickens, right on Ann Street, right?
That's correct. We're just right off Main Street, so just down the road.
Very cool.
Yes.
Well, good deal. Well, I appreciate you having you come in for
Thank
our
you.
Faces of Pickens podcast.
Yes.
And getting some information out about
It's been nice. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, man. Good to see you.
Bye.
Well, thanks again for joining us for another Faces of Pickens podcast with Branden with Castle and Hendricks, and hope you have a great day. Thank you very much.